I never believed a normal afternoon could change my life. It began like any other quiet day, sunlight slipping through the blinds, dust floating lazily in the air, and the house empty except for me. My sister Emily had gone out, leaving me alone with a silence that felt heavier than usual. I had always kept to myself, always careful, always hiding the thoughts I never dared to speak. But that day, something pulled me toward her room. I stood at her doorway, heart pounding. The faint scent of her perfume lingered in the air. Jasmine and rose. Familiar, comforting, dangerous. Then I saw it. Her bridal veil lay draped across a chair, glowing softly in the sunlight. I knew she guarded it carefully. She had dreamed about wearing it for months. Yet something inside me whispered that I needed to touch it, just once. My hands trembled as I lifted the fabric. It was lighter than I expected, almost floating. Before I could stop myself, I placed it over my head. The world changed. In the mirror, I didn't see the person I knew. The veil softened my face, blurred the sharp edges of who I thought I was supposed to be. I looked different. Not wrong. Just unfamiliar and strangely beautiful. My chest tightened. Fear and excitement tangled together. I turned slowly, letting the veil fall over my shoulders. For the first time, I felt like I was seeing a hidden version of myself. That's when I heard her voice. "Well, I didn't expect to find you like this." I froze. I turned, ready for anger or ridicule. But Emily wasn't angry. She was smiling gently, not mocking, not shocked, just soft. "I didn't mean to," I stammered. She stepped closer, tilting her head slightly. "It's okay," she said quietly. Those words hit harder than any punishment could have. "Are you happy?" she asked. I hesitated, then nodded. She studied me for a moment, then whispered, "I always thought you hid parts of yourself. Maybe this is one of them." Something broke open inside my chest. That afternoon, she didn't push me away. She didn't demand explanations. She simply stayed. "Do you want to try something else?" she asked gently. I nodded. We moved through her closet slowly, like we were sharing a secret. Each piece of clothing felt like permission to explore, to feel, to exist differently. I was terrified someone might see me, but her calm presence made the fear quieter. As the sun dipped low, I realized something had changed. Not permanently, but enough that I couldn't unsee it. Later that night, we sat on the edge of her bed. I still wore one of her skirts, the veil resting loosely over my hair. "You look peaceful," she said. I wasn't peaceful. I was shaking. But I also felt seen. "I don't understand why I like this," I admitted. "I've never told anyone." She brushed a strand of hair from my face. "You don't have to hide from me." Then she surprised me. "Do you want to try my wedding dress?" My heart nearly stopped. The dress was heavy, layered with lace and satin. She helped guide it over me carefully. When I looked in the mirror, I barely recognized myself. Not because I looked like her, but because I looked like someone I had never allowed myself to be. Emily stood behind me, adjusting the fabric. "You look like you belong in a story," she whispered. From that night on, everything shifted. We didn't rush. We didn't tell anyone. We explored slowly. Scarves, dresses, light makeup, jewelry. Each time I looked in the mirror, fear faded just a little more. One evening, I wore the veil again when she came home early. I panicked, but she only said softly, "You're beautiful." No one had ever said that to me like this. Over the weeks, my confidence grew. I stood differently, moved differently. The veil stopped being just fabric. It became a symbol. One night, she gave me a small box. Inside was a delicate tiara. "You deserve to shine," she said. When I placed it on my head and adjusted the veil, I felt taller somehow, braver. I finally understood something. Transformation wasn't about clothes. It was about being seen, being accepted, being allowed to exist without shame. And it all began with a single moment. After that night, nothing felt the same. I still went through my normal days, school, chores, quiet dinners, but inside me, something had shifted. Every time I passed Emily's room, my heart beat faster. Not from guilt anymore, but from possibility. Some evenings, when the house was quiet, she would knock softly on my door. "You can come in if you want." That was all it took. Her room became a small world where I didn't have to pretend. We would sit on the bed, talking in low voices like we were sharing a secret language. She taught me small things. How to walk more gently. How to sit without feeling awkward. How to hold my hands instead of hiding them in my pockets. None of it felt forced. It felt natural. One night, she placed a soft pastel dress on the bed. "Try this," she said. My hands shook as I picked it up. When I changed and looked in the mirror, I barely recognized myself. Not because I looked like a girl, but because I looked like someone peaceful. "You look more like yourself," Emily said. That sentence stayed with me. More like myself. Weeks passed. My reflection slowly stopped scaring me. I learned how fabrics felt on my skin, how small movements could change how I felt inside. But fear never fully left. "What if someone finds out?" I asked her once. She looked serious for the first time. "Then we face it together." That was when I realized this wasn't just about clothes anymore. It was about trust. One evening, she surprised me with light makeup. "Only if you want," she said. I nodded. She worked carefully, like she was afraid to break something fragile. When she finished, she turned me toward the mirror. My breath caught. I didn't see a joke. I didn't see shame. I saw courage. Tears came without warning. "I didn't know I could feel like this," I whispered. Emily hugged me, and for the first time, I felt safe. But deep inside, a new fear grew. If this was who I really was, what would happen when the outside world met me? And that question would soon demand an answer. Because one night, she made a suggestion that changed everything. "Do you ever think about going out like this?" My heart nearly stopped. "Outside?" She nodded. "Just once. Somewhere quiet. Just to see how it feels." I looked at the veil on the chair, at the dress folded neatly on the bed, at myself in the mirror, and I realized the hardest part of transformation wasn't becoming someone new, it was letting others see you. I didn't answer her right away. The word outside echoed in my mind like thunder. Outside meant strangers. Outside meant eyes. Outside meant judgment. But it also meant truth. Emily waited patiently. She never pushed me. "We don't have to," she said softly. "Only if you're ready." I looked at myself in the mirror. The veil resting on the chair, the dress folded on the bed. My heart was racing, but something stronger than fear was growing inside me. "Okay," I whispered. "Once." Her face lit up, not with excitement, but with pride. That evening, we prepared quietly. No dramatic music. No rushing. She helped me choose a simple outfit, nothing flashy. A soft cardigan, a long skirt, the veil replaced with a scarf tied loosely around my hair. "You don't need to hide," she said. "But you don't need to shout either." My hands shook as I tied my shoes. Every step toward the front door felt heavier than the last. When Emily opened it, cool air brushed my face. The world was waiting. We walked side by side, slowly, down the quiet street. The sky was turning orange and purple, the kind of sunset that makes everything feel unreal. At first, I kept my eyes on the ground. Every passing car sounded too loud. Every shadow looked like a person staring. "Breathe," she whispered. "You're okay." Then it happened. A woman walked past us. She glanced at me and kept walking. No laughter. No shock. No pointing. Just nothing. My chest tightened. Then a couple passed. Then a man with a dog. No one stopped. No one knew my secret. For the first time, I realized something terrifying and beautiful. To the world, I was just another person walking home. We reached a small park and sat on a bench. The wind moved my scarf gently. My hands rested in my lap. "I feel real," I said. Emily smiled. "You always were." I closed my eyes for a moment. I thought about the boy I used to be, hiding in silence, afraid of mirrors. And the person I was becoming, not fully sure who I was but brave enough to look. But peace never lasts long. A familiar voice cut through the air. Is that you? My heart dropped. I turned slowly. Someone from our family stood a few steps away, staring at me. Confused. Uncertain. Not angry. Not smiling. Just seeing me. Emily stood up beside me. Her hand found mine. And suddenly I knew. This was the moment. Not in a mirror. Not in secret. Not behind a door. But here. In the open. With someone watching. I swallowed hard. And took one step forward.